All right, guys. So I came up with an idea. I've got some test equipment, lots of test equipment. A lot of it's pretty crappy. One day I'll probably get better stuff. But I had these benches or whatever you want to call them that I made that got replaced by a single one. And I thought, well, you know what? These are actually kind of handy for like working on stuff. Because see, I don't have any room to work on anything over here. A little bit of room over here if I clear it off. But like, I thought about, well, maybe I should make a couple more of these. And maybe I should just make one that's the length of these two, a little bit longer. They can just sit on the bottom and you can like stack these on top or whatever you want to do. Because see, this here, it's fine. But if I bump this thing, it probably will get knocked off, and that would be an ugly story. But so far, my frequency counter seems to be staying put. So that's pretty cool. I don't know what's wrong with this thing. I'm also curious why. It says it's a 4 megahertz TCXO. I think it says that. Yeah. And TCXO is 4 megahertz. However, the output frequency right here comes out from here is 1 megahertz. So they're dividing that or something. I don't know how are they doing that. Anyway, if you measure that, it comes out as 1 megahertz with everything I've tried. So anyway, I need an area to work on things. I need an oscilloscope to test certain stuff. A lot of this would have been really nice to have sitting here when I was working on the 430, which by the way is still working. So yeah, 10 meters seems to be not as good as it was a little while ago. I'm also whoa, look at that. So I think there's a CW contest or something going on. But anyway.
That's just going to be January and February.
So I love the 7300, but this radio's definitely got better resolution on the screen. But you can't do this with a 710. You can't change all these colors. You can't adjust it to this extent. So, you know, every radio has its advantages and disadvantages. But I personally think that the ICOMs are better radios than the Yaesus in a few areas. And then in other areas, because the Yaesu is actually a newer radio, that it's superior to this particular radio. So you really can't say one radio is so much better than the other, which is good because we need a little bit of fair competition. And you know, there's got to be, you know, you can't put out a radio that's that terrible, you know what I'm saying? So and the 7300 has really held its own for quite a while. It didn't have any competition at all in that price range. And now the 710 came out, and it's way cheaper. In fact, I think that the 7300 is more along the lines of the 710, or not the 710, the FTDX10. Because the FTDX10 has come down a little bit. But anyway, I would love to have a bench across here to put this stuff up higher, but I do have this display back here, which I can't really see when I have all this stuff here. I've not figured out what to do with this watt meter. It's actually really nice. It's fairly accurate. if I go into a dummy load on here, just show you. What do we make sure we got to make sure we don't have a tuner on. When you turn the tuner on, okay. I don't use the same radios all the time, or I use the same radio all the time, and then I can't remember how to use the other radio. Anyway. Hello, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. This is a typical ICOM 7300, which is just not quite 100 watts. That's what you're going to see. Just not quite 100 watts. If we come down here and we look at the 9982, it has a peak reading active meter. Hello, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. You can see right there that it is basically just under 100, and occasionally it hits 100. If we go to the 710, we will see that it actually is a lot more. Hello, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. Okay, so this really wasn't what I was making this video for, but, you know, I got sidetracked. Okay. And make sure the tuner's off, because we're in a dummy load. Hello, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Hello, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. So this is over a little bit more. Hello, 1, 2, 1, 2. Hello, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. And it reads about the same on this one. And it reads a little higher on that one. I don't know what the reason would be. And then if you're on a different band, it might read differently. The one thing that really irks me about this radio switching from the 7300 is I try and go and do this, and it doesn't pull up my band stack. I wish it would. Alright. Let's see if it does any differently here. Need to take the tune off. Hello, 1, 2. It's less. Hello, 1, 2, 1, 2. Yeah, so it's exactly the same. So, yep. It was reading higher the other day, which I thought was strange, but it might be something to do with related to how the antenna was tuned. So yeah, they're reading about the same. This one here reads really low. Until you turn the processor on, it does a lot better. This one here, I don't think the processor is on. I'm not really sure. For sure, mic EQ is on. I don't remember how do you... I guess it must be on. Processor level 50. Interesting. I wasn't aware that it was actually on. So when we turn this, it will be... Okay. Yeah, I did not know it was on. Interesting. So this radio, if we turn off the processor, just watch this. Okay. The only way you can turn it off is you have to turn the level to 0. And then it goes off. Okay. Hello, 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, I guess it's about the same. Interesting. Now if we change our meter here, the meter also by default reads RMS. Hello, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Hello. And that will make you think that the radio isn't putting out a lot of power when you get it. But I guess that there's not much of a difference going on here. Okay. We'll put that back up to 50 where I had it. And so when you engage the processor, you also engage the P parametric EQ, which is the processor parametric EQ. And that's different from the regular one. So just keep that in mind. Anyway, guys, I'm going to go and see what kind of wood scraps that I have. And see what I can do. And I'm going to give you a little shack update. So everything is just kind of sitting out here. This computer over here, I was waiting to get some parts for. The ham clock is running here. This computer is over here. I kind of want to build something to move this around. I switched the TV for a monitor. I have made a mess over here. I need to work on this computer. I put the cover on it. I've been working on things over here. I've not been using this computer because I don't have a hard drive for it. I pulled the radio over here. It was Mike's idea. and I came back here, and I put it back here. Okay, so I have put the 101s here. The one at the top has problems and still needs a bunch of work. I put the 901 DM down here. I put the twins over here. I built this other shelf here, removed the shelf that was down here. I made a single one that goes straight across, with the exception of the support way in the back. And I moved these ones over here. I've been taking CDs and ripping them to the computer so that I have them. And then I'm putting them back in the case. A lot of them were in the 200 disc changer. So, I've been doing that. I need to hook up this Sony STR DB1070. It's a really nice sounding Sony. For now, I have this hooked up. And a lot of times I just really don't get to listen to any music because I'm constantly live streaming crap. And they don't like it when you do that. So I've got this radio here. I need to find knobs for it. Maybe I can figure out how to 3D print some knobs that would look similar. I don't know. These are some kind of weird thing. They almost look like they come off of somebody's 70s barbecue grill. Now, but more than likely they're probably off some really crappy guitar amplifier or some piece of test equipment from the 70s. And this is the band switch. This radio is very strange. But anyway, it's got a really nice VFO knob. Thankfully that's there. So what we're basically looking at is we're missing these three. And these don't even all have that ring. And we're missing a trim bezel that goes around it. And I already measured it. It's not the same as a 101. And then we need a lid. And what I thought about was, well, speakers are down in the bottom. There's no vents right here. We probably could just make a lid for this thing. But you see the 101 here? This is a bezel that goes around here, and the plate sits behind there. That's what that thing is missing. So they were supposed to go through here. As you can see, the case is sucked in because it was supposed to be bolting to the bezel instead. I have no idea where the hell I would ever begin to get the parts for this radio. But it does work. There is a filter cap that needs to be reinstalled on the microphone connector. And it did not have a Cobra 4-pin wiring. I rewired it because this thing's already boogered. I brought it to life. This was a free radio at one of the Hamfests. And it has all of these crazy chain drive things here. And they like to crack. So it's not quite the radio that you want to use all of the time. But they came out with all these ideas. Instead of like doing like what Yaesu did, Yaesu has a lot of them where they're pretty much direct drive. So you have the load goes directly in. The plate goes directly in. So that's cool, that's normal. But then you get some goofy crap like this. You see that? That's goofy. Both of these are goofy. There is no reason that that should be like that. And those are feeding off of the pre-select. And they're using capacitors instead of inductors to do the pre-selecting. You have these gigantic inductors here. Now the other one, which other one is chain driven? There's some other really weird crap going on in this radio. So this chain goes down to some other crap. I think there's more than one set of these. It's just so complicated it doesn't even begin to make sense. The RIT mic gain. So I think that this pre-select controls all of this. Oh, Lord. And there's the crystals in here. They've all soldered in. I think this thing has been modified for 11 meters, if I remember correctly. But these do sell for quite a bit on eBay, but not like this. I mean, you know, that's why it was given away. So, there's a band switch that's here. So what is the other thing that's connected? Pre-selector. So that's the only thing for the pre-selector. So something else. Oh boy. Look at that. That's all part of the band switch. Man, that's nuts. So basically, if this thing goes bad, you're not going to be able to do anything. You see this? They're cracked. This one's missing the set screw. Oh, this one's on an idle pulley. So to me, it looks like there's a brass insert in them. Crazy. You can see, pretty sure I see a crack in that one. And there's a crack in the back side of that one. So, I have a reason why I don't want to use it. Because, although it works, you know, if I was to use it every day, it would definitely go bad on me sooner or later. Okay. So, it has these segments that you push and you jump from the 500, the 600, the 700, 800, 900, or whatever part of the band. It's really clever. Digital, but then analog. This wheel moves and reads these numbers. So yeah, crazy looking radio. Looks like it's Yaesu made by Uniden, if you ask me. So I think I'm going to put that back. I think I'm going to put the 101 ZD over here next to this radio since it'll match. I have no reason to use this thing. What I should probably do is file it away someplace and maybe make a cover for it or something, but just file it away. I don't know, maybe part it out. I mean, it's sad because it works. So, anyway, it was a cool, fun project to play around with. It took me a while to figure out what was wrong with it. So, yeah.